Hello friends, welcome back to Suzanne Elizabeth's Kitchen. You know, it's a Friday night here in Colorado in the mountains of the Rocky Mountains, and you know, there's just times when you want to have a good meal but you don't want a lot of involved cooking. So I say grab a wonderful steak and cook it for dinner. So what I'm going to do, I've heated up this skillet, cast iron skillet, so it's very hot. Now I'm just adding the olive oil and it's really starting to smoke. Now what I've done is I dried off the steak and then put salt and pepper on it. And now I'm going to put it down, oh yeah, right into, ooh, be careful of splattering grease, right into that olive oil. And what I want to do now is just leave it alone and let it sear. Just let it sear for a few minutes and get a nice caramelized crust going with the fat. And then we're going to flip it over. Now, while I'm doing that, I want to do one other thing, which is on this back burner, I'm going to, and this is a trick that my sister-in-law, Heidi, taught me. I'm going to take a big blob of butter, probably a good tablespoon, and we're going to put that in this little pan and let it melt. And then I'm going to add this garlic. And the idea is that we're going to bathe the steak with the butter. And what that's going to do is bring moisture back into the steak, because, you know, frying it obviously is going to dry it out a little bit. And so we want to make sure that we you know, it's like moisturizing your skin, only we're moisturizing the steak with butter and wonderful garlic. Now, you want to keep that turned down. In fact, I just turned it down to a simmer, because you don't want the butter to burn. You don't want brown butter. You want just lovely, nice, golden butter. Now, because I've got a little bit more oil in here than I should, I'm going to take it off of the flame when I flip it, because I don't want oil going everywhere. I don't want, you know, fires here in the kitchen. So what I'm doing now is I just flipped it so that the other side can start to cook. And now I'm going to start bathing it with the butter and the garlic. Now, this is not a very thick piece of steak, so it's not going to take that long to cook. I mean, you know, it takes as long as it takes, given whatever, you know, how done you like your steak. I like mine more medium rare. So I'm just going to and this is not that thick of a cut. So I'm just going to let that go for a few minutes, and at this point you could even, if you wanted to, even pop it in the oven. Put it in the 350 degree oven for, you know, 5 minutes. The most important step, and I'm just watching the time on the clock, the most important step actually is letting the steak rest after you've cooked it as much as you want to. And I'm just going to, see, I can, if you poke it, you can get a sense of how done it is. Remember this test? If you want it medium rare, it should feel like this. You don't want to overcook your steak. I mean, I know there are some people who like, you know, they want the steak to be, I won't say shoe leather, but they want the steak to be very well done. if you have a really beautiful cut of beef, like this T-bone steak that I have, let it speak for itself. And the only way to do that is not to overcook it. So you really want the flavors to come out. So actually I'm going to turn off the flame on mine, and I'm going to let it sit in this pan for a little bit and just soak up some of these juices. And really the point is that you want your steak to rest so that all the juices come back to the center of the steak, and so that when you cut into it, you know, all those juices are not just running out onto the plate and leaving you with a dry steak. You don't want that. Now you can see what I'm doing here, and I actually saw this on TV, Tyler Florence doing this, where he actually had a separate butter bath, and he would put the steak in there and just keep bathing it with this butter. So that's what I'm doing. And really, that's it. Put it out when you feel that it has cooked enough. You can put it out on the your worktop or your plate, and really let it rest there. See? And then, once you're ready to cook into it, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be tender, and it's going to be very juicy. And that's all there is to making a steak. Serve this with a quick vegetable or a quick salad, and you've got a wonderful Friday night dinner, and something that you can enjoy with your loved ones. And don't forget a glass of red wine. It goes beautifully with steak. So, thank you guys. Don't be intimidated by steak. Steak is not for boys only, not for the grill only. It's something that can be done any day of the year. And I look forward to seeing you again in Suzanne Elizabeth's kitchen. Cheers.